Hey, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're going to be installing the 30-gallon fresh water tank underneath the kitchen sink. And I'm also going to go through welding in some supports for the window frames when I cut out the center supports out of the trailer. I wanted to make sure that those windows were boxed and that they were good and solid and pushing against something hard other than just the sheet metal of the trailer. So it's a short video, it's informative. I hope you like it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, so today we're going to be working on the holding tank. I've got to get some leather straps glued on to the tank itself, and then we can add the steel straps on top of that. And the whole thing's going to hold on to it to this little cradle I made. I'll kind of take you guys through it here. So you can see these are the little leather straps. I just bought these on Amazon. They was like 12 bucks. They're 1 inch wide by 100 inches long. So I'll have two of those here and here. I'm just going to glue at the corners where they come across the corners, and then down on the ends, both front and back here. So those will be installed in place, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to run a steel strap will fasten to the other side, kind of like this, and wrap under, but it'll come up the side, the back, over the top, and right back down, and it'll fasten on to this wood bar right here, which is going to be bolted with actual bolts to the bottom of the plate. The whole plate right here is going to be screwed to the floor from the bottom coming up. So there's no way that plate, once it's mounted, will ever come out. The glue that I'm going to use to just hold the straps in place, I use this all the time. It's just weldwood contact cement. It works great if you know how to use it. You apply it to both sides of the surface that you're going to put it on, and you let it tack up, and then you can apply it to apply the leather to the surface, and it holds onto it real well. And it just has to hold the leather in place, just so the strap will lay down like a railroad track. It'll come over the top of it, like trestles on a railroad track. So we're going to get working on that today. You got it mixed up. If it sits on one side for a long time, a lot of the stuff settles to the bottom. So I've actually had this sitting upside down all night long, trying to get everything from the bottom to come down. But you got to shake it up really good, and then sometimes you got to get a screwdriver in there and stir it up, or a stick. I don't know what that means. And I've done this enough that you probably want to wear gloves when you're doing it, because this isn't the most horrible glue, but it sure doesn't come off your fingers very well, and alcohol does not pull it off. You got to use acetone or MEK or something like that. Alright, so what we'll do, get these ready to go, and you just use a little acid brush. You can buy these anywhere. They're cheap. Like I said, you just do both sides, both the leather and the tank, and let those tack up. So what I'm talking about tacking up if you look real close, if you take your finger and you can touch it, let's see if I can get this on film. See how it comes up with it? So that's too wet. So you don't want that. When you do touch it, you almost want it dry to the touch. It'll feel dry. But that's how this glue works, is it gets to a point where it flashes off, and then when you do touch it, it won't come up like that. So you have to wait till the glue on both pieces has what they call tacked up. There we go. So here you can see, when I touch it now, it's not coming with my finger, right? This side might still be just a little too much, too tacky. Yeah, it's coming up with it. So we'll let that one sit, but this one I can go ahead and put on. And I don't really want to stretch the leather to come down. I really just want to set it down on it. Anytime you stretch a material like this, inevitably over time it wants to come back. So what it'll do is keep pulling on it, and eventually it'll pull that, it can pull that glue seam free. So I haven't been trying to stretch the leather at all. I've just basically set it in place, because the strap will come over the top of this and basically put all the pressure on it. And really the only place I'm really truly worried about it is the corners up here, because the strap, when the tank's empty, the tank's actually almost imploded, so you won't really have a lot of pressure right here on the strap. It'll just be at the corners. But when it does have water in it, the sides will be poofed out, and then I'd rather have it sitting on the leather than on a steel strap that will eat into the tank. Alright, I think we're about ready for this side. Okay. There is our leather strap in place for the tank. See how we did. Alright. So the reason it's not centered on the tank is because of how my mount sits in the trailer. I have to mount the floor plate to the floor in the trailer at a certain place, and there's cabinet stuff right here, and there's also tanks on the floor that told me where I can or cannot put screws in or from the floor, so that's why it's kind of offset a little bit. But I've also got it set really close to two of those mounting points when it screws in, the lag bolts when it screws into the floor, so it'll be plenty strong. So we're going to set this aside right now. And now what I'm going to do is I got to cut a few little recesses in the bottom of the mounting plate and the bottom of the little bar that goes across here to accept the clearance for the strap and the screw. Right. Okay, we got our slots here. So now what we're going to do is add the strap. Alright, so I did install the 30-gallon freshwater tank underneath the sink. This is what it turned out. So these are the straps that I was installing earlier, how they come down over the leather. And then it hooks into this bar right here. And all I have to do is, if I need to ever remove the tank, I just unscrew these 3 bolts, that removes the bar, and then it allows me to lift the whole tank up and out of its cradle, so if I ever need to service it or whatnot. There's also a couple of things I didn't go through during the filming process, was the fittings. You can see right here, these are just regular fittings that you're going to be able to get at the hardware store for all the inlets and outlets. And then I also used PEX B when I did all my plumbing inside the trailer. This right here is the fill port and vent line as well. It comes out of the trailer. So this right here is your fill port, and there's also a vent right there. Simply hook it up to the garden hose from the house. You can put your filter on it and fill up. It's just like any RV port for well. And I also put in a quick release for a hose attachment, which I use quite a bit for a outdoor sink that I have for cleaning our hands when we're done working for the day. So it works out really great, and I'll get into more of that a little bit later. Also, right here you can see behind me, this is one of the windows I installed on the trailer. So I had to cut out the sheet metal, and then what I showed you on the video was going back inside and welding back a support for the window itself, for the window frame, so the window frame has something solid to sit against. And I often get asked about that, or I see a lot of questions about that on some of the forums of whether or not people want to box out their windows, and I think it's a very good idea because the sheet metal in these trailers are very thin.